I'm Simon Ditchburn. I'm the Managing Director of the Tudor Group of Companies, and the last time you saw me I was a few walls short of a condo. Well, I'm incredibly pleased to say that the walls are now actually going to position. We've got 84 wall panels coming to finish this last section where you saw me last time we were waiting for it, and that's going to come in something like 5 trucks over the period of several days. Now the first couple of trucks have already arrived and you can see that the installation is going in place. First of all, we put in the large 15cm walls. These are installed between the apartments and the corridors. These are the nice big thick ones that stop you having to listen to anybody run up and down the corridors, and also those 15cm walls are set in between each one of the apartments, again so that you don't have to listen to the next door neighbour. So those walls will be installed first of all, and then the bedroom and the bathroom separation walls, partition walls if you like, they're 10cm thick, although they're still very much insulated walls. They will come in second and they will set out between the living rooms, the bathrooms and any other small areas that we have to fill in between. So I'm actually standing on the scaffold now for the 5th, so it means that we've got the walls going in the last section of the 4th floor. I'm standing on the floor moulding which will create the 5th floor, and I think you can see that the columns are already in place there to support the 6th floor. So we've actually got 3 floors all in construction at the same time, but now I'm levelling things back up again, take away those steps, and we will actually pour all of floor number 5 in one go. Exactly as I was explaining in our last show, although you've got all the big impressive structure work going on the top floors, down actually inside the condominium we've got a lot of the finishing work going on. A lot of these rooms now are right up to the decoration stage, and on the outside walls, this is down inside the condo now, everywhere that we built the outside walls with the double block work or the cavity block work, we're now having to use two different types of plaster work for the finishing. So directly onto anything that's the block work, onto the thermalite block, first of all we use a cement rendering plaster, and then on top of that will go the skim coat, which is your finishing plaster. However, anything that's on the precast walls, these were the walls that are delivered to us already finished, we only have to put on a skim coat. This is already a very good finish, and we just want the decorating finishing edge just to make it a little bit smoother. But the key to a lot of this plastering really is a key point of mine, if you'd like to say. I'm a bit of a fan of it, is the aluminium corner bead, and we'll show you that just around the corner. Here's a great feature that we've actually brought across as an idea from the UK. It's the galvanised rendering bead or corner bead. Now we set these in position to make the perfect sharp lines. When we do all the plastering, it brings it into a lovely perfect finish right the way around. It's something we've been using for a long time in Europe, but it's actually really very difficult to find it here in Thailand. My original idea was I would have to ship them across, but I have to say I've had a bit of luck. We found another English developer here, perhaps you know them, Greenfield Villas. Well, he's actually brought the machine across into Thailand, and he's developing these beads for us here locally in Pattaya. What a great thing. Now all I have to do is just buy them from him instead. So if you need them, because they are a great feature if you're going to do any plastering, just remember the name Greenfield Villas. Now, as you can see behind me, we've got one of the plasterers actually rendering one of those beads now, and the technique is exactly the same that we would do there in Europe. It's a cement render. The bead has already been glued into position, so that's sitting nice and solid, so he can cement plaster up to the bead and render and finish exactly as you would back home. We will straighten that off with a straighten edge, we will flatten it off then with a sponge to finish, and then the top coat over that will be the skim coat, which is a very, very fine plaster, which is your finishing off for the decoration. So there we go, there's the technique actually in place. Up until now I've shown you a lot of the plastering that's going on within the rooms, but of course we have to concentrate on the corridors and the common areas just as much. So at the same time that the rooms are being plastered, you can see here that one of the staircases is being plastered. See, at the end of the day, when you go for the final sign off of the building, it isn't showing City Hall just that the rooms are finished, you've got to show that all of the common areas are finished as well. The whole job is classed as a completed job, and you have to complete absolutely everything before you get that final sign off. Right, now I'm not going to get too close, otherwise I'm going to end up getting plastered myself, but nevertheless you've got the skim coat going on now. Now it's a very similar technique to how we do it back in Europe. It's basically a very, very fine smooth coating that goes over the top of the cement. Now the cement does make a nice finish. A lot of the outside walls are actually pretty good, but the outside walls can be a little bit grainy where you're using sand and cement to make render. It's a little bit of a grainy finish, so we use the skim coat literally as a final fine finish, which makes a much better for decoration. Now let me take you over to one of the rooms that's already been finished and you can see exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm in a room now that's actually had all of the skim coating completed. So it balances up now. The outside walls have had the skim coat on the top of the cement, and the skim coat has also gone on the top of the precast walls. So it's now completely balanced. Everything is at the same level of plastering. So we're at the stage now where the decorator will come in and he'll check and he'll sand down or pick up any imperfections, if you like. And so these walls are now ready for the priming coat. As soon as the primer is done, we will start to bring in the ceiling frames, and that will be working. It'll be starting to work next week, so we'll include that into the next video. Well, taking you through that with the plastering and the different levels and the different types that we do, my plastering has now actually caught right up with the structure work above. And we've got to wait a little while for the floor to physically go solid before I can remove the scaffold and get the plasterers up to that next floor. So rather than waste any time, next week we're going to release the ceilings. So we're basically going to go back down to the bottom floor again, where we've already done the skim coat, we've already done the primer, electrician has been in and floor leveling has been done, and we're going to start releasing the ceilings right the way through. And in 4 of the rooms, which will become new showrooms for us, we're also going to do all the tiling. So on our next show, on our next video, we're going to show you a lot more multitasking, but this time on items that you haven't seen before. You're going to be watching the ceilings, the floor tiles, back up to the structure again, because we're going to be concrete flooring pouring on another floor. And well, we'll see you next time because we're incredibly busy. So I'll see you then.